Okay, dear viewers, dear listeners, it's absolutely a pleasure to have Isaiah Mitchell with us, which is also known as a guitar player of Earthless and sometimes singer too. How have you been doing, Isaiah?
I've been okay. I've been hanging in there. Yeah, it's pretty mellow, just keeping it pretty low key and positive as much as possible. So,
The
yeah, how
only
you doing?
way to go on, no? I guess.
Yeah, fucking waste of time otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. So we are talking because on January 23rd, something pretty special is happening. What can you tell us?
We were a part of a video, I don't know, musical collaboration with other bands with our buddy Ryan Jones, who runs the California Desert Wizard Society. Yeah, he runs the Stoned and Dusted Festival that takes place out in Joshua Tree in Mojave Desert. We've played those. I've played those a couple times, and he's been a good buddy. So now he just started, during the COVID lockdown, he couldn't do Stoned and Dusted. So he wanted to do something for everybody, which I'm glad he did. So he did a video series live in the Mojaves. It's kind of a live at Pompeii, but not really a live at Pompeii, the Pink Floyd. But it's just a live, performance out in the desert with the Mad Alchemy Liquid Light show. And the band's cruising out in the desert, a very professional video crew. You've got
Light
multi-camera,
shows, no, as well.
light shows. You've got drones buzzing over your head, taking footage. It looks beautiful. The footage that I've seen, it's really, really, it's beautiful. Yeah.
How was to? I mean, I guess it was a long time since you played any gig. How was to do such stuff?
It felt good to play, of course. Earthless has done a couple live at the Casbah live streams, but those were after the Mojave. So yeah, it had been some time since we've played in front of anybody, and it was enjoyable. I mean, we love playing. The thing is, it's like the desert. It's very hot and it's very cold, and it can be very windy. So I just remember it being very cold because when we played at night, like just the hands were getting super tight. And the last time all three of us in the band were wearing sweaters when we were playing was the last time we played in the desert, like 15 years ago or something. So it was a good reminder of what the desert's all about. But it's fun. It's beautiful. I mean, any chance to play outdoors in that kind of environment is a real treat. So, I mean, we were very happy to do that. And yeah, there were friends there. My girlfriend was there. Ryan was there. His wife was there. Lance and all the Mad Alchemy crew were there. So it felt like a show because we've done a lot of shows with Mad Alchemy on going on tour together and all. So it had a vibe of a familiar kind of live music experience that we've been missing for almost a year now. So,
what is actually your connection to the desert? I mostly talk about maybe the beginning of your career.
My association and connection with the desert has nothing to do with the music, the whole stoner rock scene. We have friends in that world, and like I said, Ryan and the band are friends. So we met him in LA, and then he brought this stuff out to the desert. That's the musical bit. I mean, but me, like I would go camping out in the desert with my buddies in high school all the time. I live in San Diego, and the desert's an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and we go camp and, do whatever you do when you're a teenager, going camping with your buddies. And we do it a lot, and it was great. My connection with the desert is very peaceful. The sky is so clear. You can see stars in the center of the Milky Way. It's mind-blowing. You can clearly see satellites going through the night sky. on a clear night. It's one of the most peaceful, beautiful places you've ever been to, and it's nature. So, I mean, my connection with, in regards to that, is just it's an open space of nature. It could be out in the ocean, it could be in the trees, like in a national park where there's nobody, like Yosemite, or whatever, just any place. Earthless, we're a San Diego band. We more surf skate world over here. We're more California vibe, bro, dog, whatever.
Not so much dusted.
No, not at all. We love the desert, but it's not the world that we grew up in. We're coastal, but the desert's just right around, just that way, a couple hours. So
Having some talks in the past to bands that are commonly related to stoner rock, desert rock, etc. I found that not so many people like the word stoner rock.
yeah.
What's your opinion about that? Do you think it represents anyhow your music or your scene, let's say?
I mean, it's an easy label to put on anything. Stoner rock, you can put it on anything. I mean, if it's in a 4/4/6/8 time, it's got some fuzz guitar and psychedelic sounds, you can put stoner rock on anything. But I know the stoner rock moniker, or whatever, like it has this sound that I associate with it, and we are not that sound. To me, we're not that sound. I would think we're more like funkadelic. If funkadelic is stoner rock, then okay, I guess we might be stoner rock too. If Robin Trower is stoner rock with Jimi Hendrix or Led Zeppelin or whatever, then sure. I don't know. I think we more align with that kind of a sound naturally, or Japanese bands, or it's just a label, and we've never agreed that we are stoner rock. When I think of stoner rock, I think of Caius and bands that sound like Caius or inspired by Caius. That to me is stoner rock. Some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff I don't. I'm not a big fan of it because none of us smoke weed. None of us fucking smoke any weed. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, as any label, I guess, tends to simplify, I guess,
Sure.
to include stuff that maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it being useful. I mean, if something's labeled stoner rock, and if you like, these other bands, then it's like, oh, well, I might like this. So if I like this, I might like this. Oh, it's in the stoner rock category of your record shop. Like, hey, that's all good. And I ain't knocking it, but it's not me. I don't align with it. We don't align with it. I don't know what we call. You can call us whatever you want, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I mean, you have been in Europe often enough to maybe have a clue of what sorry if I use the word again, stoner
That's okay.
like scene is over here in Europe.
Yeah.
Do you think that really the stoner desert scene of California, of US in general, was really inspirational for the underground scenes here in Europe?
It seems like it was. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that world, it's a mystical world of, that what Caius created and what Fu Manchu and Nebula and, I think Sleep as well, but they're way up north, they're San Jose. It's like, it's a magical world that those guys created with Queens of the Stone Age and Brant Bjork and all this stuff. It's great. And I find it fascinating, going on Facebook and, seeing my buddies who are from all over the place in Europe, like they'll make a pilgrimage to go to Joshua Tree or to that zone of the desert and take a picture with welcome to Sky Valley. Is that what it? Yeah, I just think that's really charming, and I think that says a lot to what that music has done, you know, what Mario Lally has done, and Fatso Jetson and Yawning Man, I like all those bands. There's so many bands that came out of that. It's pretty cool. I mean, I respect that, and I think it's great to see what the desert is, how it's influenced people all over the place. And it's like a resurgent of that music. Like many years later, they didn't know what they were doing. They were just doing their thing like anybody, like dudes in Seattle were doing in the 80s and 90s as well. And then boom, sometime later, it's huge.
What do you think is, why do you think, and also what, in which way was is inspirational? I mean, also including the Earthless too, not maybe in the desert, but what do you think is inspirational for European underground scenes about these other underground scenes?
I mean, I think it's just the sound, the driving riffs of it. I think, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what the, you know, what the appeal is. I think maybe just loud, heavy fuzz, this mystique that you're out in the desert and you're playing in the generator and there's vans and motorcycles and drag racing and like this beer keg parties and everyone's just playing really heavy rock and roll out in the desert. You know, I mean, it sounds kind of cool to me too.
It sounds poetic to me as well.
Yeah, you know, and it's just an innocent thing. It's all they, you know, to them it's just everyday life and necessity. You know, they weren't thinking about the future like that. But when you think about it, it is poetic. It's beautiful. I like it. You know,
I thought many times that it also, besides all the beautiful images you just described, there is also sort of was a big inspiration, the do-it-yourself approach and attitude.
Totally.
That I don't know. I mean, I was too young in the beginning of the 90s to see what was going on in the underground scenes here. But I think this could be also a good inspiration, because I think this is what underground bands over here now do. You know, they are their graphic designer, they are the peer, and they are everything.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the same kind of like the same ethos as what Discord did, you know, on the East Coast with like all the punk stuff that came out of there, like Minor Threat and Void and whatever. Yeah, it's that do it yourself. That's all over the place. Black Flag, what they were doing, was very similar. I know that bands got on bigger labels eventually, but it's a tight-knit community and people that are into the same things, and they wanted to just have it blossom and bloom, and they succeeded in it big time.
Let's go back. Actually, let's go into Earthless. You are almost any time you have been an instrumental band, but later on you got some track with vocals. The first question I want to do is how does the expression go for an instrumental band? Is it just a pure music expression, or there are some other ways that you want, some other messages, I don't know, that you want to express with your music or with other means?
I think as pure expression as possible with the music is our goal. My goal as a guitar player and an improviser is to be present in the moment and make what Mike and Mario are playing sound as great as possible. Just enhance what they're doing, and they'll hopefully enhance what I'm doing, and just be in the moment and play the most beautiful music you can, and people know that you mean it. Yeah, that's my goal, always.
Why? I mean, there must not be a why for granted, but why did you feel the necessity then to sing and add vocals to your music?
Mix it up. to throw everyone for a curveball. I mean, for the record Black Heaven, we wanted to do something different. Mm-hmm. And we were going to a new label, Nuclear Blast, and we wanted to do something different. We didn't think there was going to be so many songs with vocals on it. We had other instrumental songs, like longer ones, that just, it didn't feel right with the rest of the material. So we're like, well, I guess we're going to make it a heavy record full of vocals. And we didn't plan on that. It just seemed to make the most sense for that record. And we wanted to do something different. It was way more different than we were expecting, which was great because I don't know, it felt good to not do the same exact thing, to throw everyone for a loop a little bit. So we're like, fuck it, who cares? Let's just do it. Why not? We like the songs and it was fun. It's different. But for the next record, I mean, I'd be fine if we went back to no vocals again.
Okay.
So it's not like we're going to be a vocal band all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. If we have vocals, we have vocals. But like, I mean, I personally love our style of like the first couple records that are just like just heavy open improvisation. With parts, sure, but like that's something that I really feel that's us. That's how we started. So yeah, we flirt with that often, and the next record could be just that, you know.
How was the process of conceivement of the lyrics? Was also a sort of improvisation, or did you write? How was it?
For the lyrics, I always, whenever I've written lyrics for anything in any band, I always hear like the melody of it first. So I hear how I want the vocals to phrase, how I want the enunciation. So what I do is I will write to that. I will make words fit. And a lot of times it doesn't make much sense. I'm just trying to make it work with how I want the vocals to sound. If I want to end on an ah or an o, like I'm going to fit a word to fit that. And it's like, take a bunch of words and make it work and make it sound interesting lyrically. So
just the voice in that way is an instrument as well, no?
Yeah. Because I just love melody, and to me, melody and phrasing is more important for me than I don't always feel this way, but yeah, like I don't know. To me, the beauty of a melody and phrasing, it hits me very strongly. It's very infectious. Like good lyrics, like amazing. I'm not the greatest lyric writer. I don't practice at it enough. So I'm willing to not be like Townes Van Zandt or Bob Dylan and write these amazing words, but I want at least a melody and something to get stuck in your head. You know, I'm okay with that. I feel very comfortable and happy in that. But I wish I could write lyrics like Townes Van Zandt or Bob Dylan, and I'm practicing. Not very much, but that's a goal.
Maybe
that's 2021 goal.
I wanted to ask
if we write with lyrics, but I think it's going to be an instrumental. I don't know. Yeah. But
who knows? I
don't know.
Yeah. We are up for anything as
awesome.
Listeners. Release wise, you released Black Heaven in 2018. If I'm not wrong, your fourth studio album. What are you up to now?
We are writing new music. We're getting close to having a new record ready to go into the studio. And the music that we've written so far, collectively, it's our favorite. It's our favorite music that we've ever written. We're all very excited. It's nice to be together and write together the way we are and have this mutual excitement and have songs just come together naturally. That's usually the bet when the song's really good. I keep finding when it's something that just happens really naturally and quick, that's the good stuff most of the time. So we're in that zone right now, and we're continuing to write. So hopefully we'll get to recording this year. That's a goal, and have it released sometime. Hopefully, well, we don't know yet. We're not certain. And then we got a live stream coming up this Saturday, January 16th, live at the Casbah. So we're doing that as well. So we have practice tonight, and it's going to be fun. I haven't practiced with them in a couple months, so it'll be good.
For this live stream, but also for the live in the Mojave Desert, is the set list including some of the new stuff, or you're sticking to the previous
tonight?
releases?
Yeah, it should. The live at the Mojave is older stuff. But tonight, the live stream at the Casbah on the 16th, yeah, that'll have some new stuff and stuff we don't even know what we're playing yet. It might go off into a different tangent, so which I hope it does. That'd be good.
I assume in live you really take off on improvisation. Was there like any time a moment in which as band you took off so much from a song that maybe you didn't know anymore which song you were playing?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
What do you do then?
You just keep going. And the cool thing about improvisation is there's no wrong choices. And if you got three people, they're doing different things, and where you land is where you land. There's, sometimes it's more graceful and beautiful. Sometimes it's a little bit more chaotic, but that's the joy about improvisation. I mean, you're getting something unique to that moment in time, to that show. You're getting something unique for yourself and the people in the audience being a part of it with you. You're getting something unique. Hopefully you go way out and you don't come back, but you go somewhere that you would have never gone before, or you could have even conceived. So that's the goal always. And that's finding that fine line on the fringe out there. That's where you want to be. That's where the music is. That's where to me the beauty is, the expression, and that's the goal always.
How is also considering the love you have for improvisation? How is the creative process of a studio of the studio album, and then how you work while you are recording?
It's pretty straightforward. I mean, if we're doing songs that have parts, like verse, chorus, this and that, it's just a matter of getting a good take. You practice it, the parts. It's kind of like being on autopilot. You don't have to think, you're counting 4 here, you're counting 4 here, yada, yada. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's it. That part is kind of easy. As long as there's a good sound in the studio and everyone's playing nice and no flubs, fantastic. But if we're doing songs like we did on, the first 3 records where it's improvisation, like, sorry.
You are testing
it's all about
here.
Yeah, hopefully it's fixing it. Yeah, it's all about vibe. Just like studio, you want good vibe all the time. But like for improvisation, like we did a Lulu Rock in the studio. Like one day we were doing it like 3 or 4 times and it just wasn't coming together. So we were like, okay, we're done for the day. The next morning we come in at like 10 or 11 a.m. and we start with the Lulu Rock. Boom, first take, that's the one. So it's like, it depends on your vibe. If you're beating something to death, if it's an improvisational like flow song, it's got to be fresh. Like I always find it's usually the first take that's gonna be the one. Yeah, so it's totally 2 different. It's 2 different frames of thought or whatever. I don't know. That's how I go into the studio with these guys, with Earthless, which is them fucking messaging me right now so much right now about what to practice this week and fucking hell. Sorry, I don't know how to turn that off on my computer, but whatever.
Okay, I hope somebody stops writing you.
Yeah, I hope so too, because it's annoying.
Yeah, but I think
Sorry, guys, if you hear this, but fuck, stop
I
writing.
think it's doing better for my ear, step by step. I have a direct question. Is music paying your rent and bills?
It has been. Yeah, it does when we're on tour. Yeah, I mean, we are able to sustain a livelihood with it. With it not happening, it's a little bit more tricky. I also give guitar lessons online. So that's been picking up for me to kind of take care of the lack of touring. But at the same time, you know, it's different. It's hard, you know. But
So
I mean,
I assume 2020 was pretty shit year.
I think like emotionally, even just getting into that whole new way of living that we're not doing what we used to doing all the time. That was, I think, mentally that it was very taxing and emotional for a lot of people. On us, like, you know, you're used to doing this and like used to going on tour and making money, and we go, fuck, we're not doing that anymore. So yeah, psychologically, it was a fuck to the head, big fuck to the head. But fortunately, my situation allows me to be able to teach, and things are okay. I'm able to have a pretty comfortable, not too stressful of a life right now with that. But yeah.
Okay, I hope
Okay.
we'll keep that way. Do you?
I don't know how to shut that fucker off. Fuck off!
What's
Sorry.
that? Maybe I can help you.
So like for the for the voice message, it's got like this ping.
But
How do you
what's that? Which program is that?
Oh, it's just iMessage.
Okay.
And it's only on my laptop, which I'm doing right now.
But
Well,
can't you maybe just close the program for?
oh, it wasn't on.
Okay.
No, it's just I think they're done.
Okay. Super.
Sorry about that, David.
No worries, man.
It was distracting. I'm trying to think and bing, don't fall asleep.
No, it's I think
Stay awake.
I'm able to hear again.
I hope so. Well, at the very least, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, have you thought, as you just said, the way to sustainability for the band is basically to tour around and play pretty intensively. Have you thought about I don't know, some change you should make in the future in order to keep the sustainability of the band? I mean, assuming that we don't know exactly what will be the future. I mean, I hope, of course, that everything will go back to perfect normality. But I'm sure you thought many times about it.
I think, I mean, the only things that I think we're thinking about is, yeah, live streams are helpful. You know, it's monetarily, financially, it helps a little bit. You know, it puts some money in our pockets, and the other guys have families, so yeah, any income is great. And cool thing about live streams, they're all going to be local, so it's not, we don't have to go on tour. You know, everyone will be home at night, so the cost of it all is very low. And you'll be up for breakfast and, you know, help the family and, you know, everything. So that, and write as much as possible. And if you can get in the studio, do it. I mean, I don't know. We haven't released a record yet in this situation, and I know records are being released. Labels are still doing it. I haven't really kept my eye on how all that's going. I think record sales are doing pretty good because I think people are still buying records because they're home all day.
It's the only thing we can do. No?
Yeah. So I think it's going well. So I think releasing records and maybe doing some special releases or something like that, just keep pumping things out would also be of benefit. But just being creative, using the time as much as possible to be creative and live streams. I think that's, so far you see so many people doing it, and it's the way to. It's helpful, that's for sure.
I got one last question. I mean, a second to last. You know, many people say when we're talking with the artist to stick to music. But of course, I'm talking with you that you are in California, US. So it's pretty difficult to me not to talk about politics. 2020, of course, has been a difficult year for the whole world, but especially for US, considering everything that happened. You just came back to the US last week. What are your thoughts about what happened in Washington, D.C.?
Amazing, and not in a good way. Yeah, I don't know. It's shocking. It's totally shocking. It felt like a mutiny. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I mean, if you would have had the Black Lives Matter people, I'm just going there right now. If you would have had that group of people, white or black, any color, doing that, it would have been a very different story. That would have never happened. For some reason, all those people were able to get into that White House and do what they did. I don't know. I think it's fucked up. I think it's really fucked up. I don't know. It's fucked up. I'm glad Trump is leaving. I wish he would have gone, never even showed up. He's a terrible human being. And the fact that he was even elected just makes me really, I don't know. It's embarrassing. And the fucking global community think he's a fucking joke, which he is a joke. He's a piece of shit. I'm going there. It's okay. But yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, you can't go out with a bang, I guess, you know. You have to go out with a bang, in which I guess that was his bang. It's terrible. I don't know. It feels like more people here in San Diego too. Like, I never really saw much of any political, you know, people really waving their own personal flags ever growing up in California. Like, you see an Obama sticker, you see a Bush sticker, and it's very tame, very, very tame. But as soon as Trump was here, as soon as these elections were going on back in October, November, all that stuff was happening. I'd never seen so much pride for any election, for any candidate ever. That's just me. I'm not blind to it, but that's just me. But just Trump people going down the streets, like huge trucks with American flags, Confederate flags. Trump, 2020, make America great again. Fuck you if you don't like Trump. Like, all this stuff that's like, whoa, Like you're being you're over asserting how you feel, and it's really offensive and threatening. I feel that it's like it's over the top. I know both sides can be just as bad, but I've never seen so much like just loud Trump love in my life, or just any president love for my life. And I don't know, for me, I just can't help it. If you vote for Trump, that means you're sexist, you're a homophobic, you fucking have no respect for women. I'm sorry. If you vote for that guy, that to me instantly that's you. And women that vote for Trump, people of color that vote for Trump, I don't get it, because he fucking can't stand those people. He's proven himself over and over again to be a total asshole, and he doesn't care about anybody except himself. It's all weird. It's pretty messed up. It's on the surface, but it's so ugly, and it's not anything that I stand for. It's everything I'm not against. So, yeah.
Do you think I assume that that he sort of woke up a sort of feeling sentiment that was already sort of in the within the U.S. citizens?
Yes, absolutely. Because I mean, racism here is very strong. It's. I guess racism everywhere is very strong. It is. As soon as he was elected, like the next day, people were driving down the streets. Their chests were bigger and touted. They had their American flags. They had the pro-Trump. They were driving down the street harassing people. Like their voice was now open to the world. Like they had their leader.
Like
where they were
realized this sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, man, it was like the minute he was elected, all these people came out of the woodwork, and it was volatile, and it was a very racist. I didn't like it. To me, white people, like racist white people, that's the most scared of anyone I've ever been in my life. I don't know why, but they fucking scare me. And I've seen situations where I was very uncomfortable. And they were out and proud, and yeah, it's everything I'm against. So they're there, they're just crawling under a rock, but they're still there. They're always going to be there, you know?
Yeah. Are you sort of a hopeful considering the new administration you're going to have?
I don't know. I don't know. I think the world is the way it is, and there's going to be plenty of conflict. I mean, I don't know. I think I like the people in office better. I don't really know too much yet. We have to see what happens, but anything's better than Trump to me. That's a fact. For me, that's a total fact. But I don't know. Everything's so fucked. For environmentally, everything's so fucked. I'm part of the problem. Everyone's part of the problem. I don't know. I have no idea. So no, I'm not very. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful in what I can do for myself and for the people around me that I associate with, the people that I love. I'm hopeful to try to make our world better. And you know, I think I try to just do better things that I think are better for the world at large, you know, just being more mindful. But I don't know. I don't know. It's I'm too small of a person.
I mean, we are all small persons.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to those people running the show, I don't know. I'm not hopeful about anything without any of that, really.
Okay, Isaiah, after this shot of optimism that we got, I want to remind the viewers that Earthless is going to be January 23rd I don't know about the time, but I'm sure our listeners and viewers can find it out. Live in the Mojave Desert is gonna go actually on 5 dates. You're gonna start as Earthless, and then every second week there is gonna be Nebula, Spirit Mother, Mountain Tamer, and a new band of Brent Bjork and Nick Oliveri, which is called Stoner.
Yeah.
A nice name, no? What do you think?
I think it's appropriate. And those guys are really nice guys, so I bet they're having a good time with it all.
I think the only thing left is to thank you for this interview, and I really appreciate that you were also willing to talk about extra musical stuff, so about a bit about politics. I hope it didn't ruin your day.
No, I don't know. I hope everyone stay positive.
Yeah, I
Try
mean,
to stay
that's
don't listen to too much shit.
and I mean, if even if you listen, I think we have to build a wall sometimes in order to stay positive, no?
Yeah, a little bit. Or meditate a lot and focus on on the emptiness of all things, and that'll set you free, perhaps, maybe.
Sounds good. Isaiah, I thank you again, and I see you on January 23rd in the Mojave Desert.
Awesome, David. Looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot, and bye.
Cheers, brother. Cheers, man.
Ciao.
Ciao.